watching right now the British royal family mired in one of its biggest crises in history.
See, when the British royal family gets nervous, they don't call press conferences about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They don't create drama. They do something far more serious. They start investigating birth records. And right now, word is the palace is pulling files on Archie and Lilibet. Birth certificates are being compared. Questions about Meghan Markle's children that were buried years ago are suddenly being asked again by royal officials because the royal family can ignore gossip about Meghan and Harry, dismiss rumors, even weather scandals. But what King Charles and the palace cannot afford is uncertainty about Archie and Lilibet in the line of succession. And that's exactly what this royal investigation is about right now. Let's dive in.
Today, I can confirm plans to strip Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lily.
Everything she's done has only drawn more speculation and brought the controversies back up.
Con of the century, two cons of the century in the form of two royal children included in the line of succession.
The rumors that perhaps they used a surrogate for one or both of the children.
It's been a special couple days.
Who does he take after? Does he look like anyone?
We're still trying to figure that out.
May 6th, 2019, the day Archie Harrison was born. Or at least, that's the official story. Royal births follow strict protocols. Not for show, for certainty. Hospital names get confirmed, medical teams get identified, witnesses sign documents, everything locks down before any public announcement. It's boring bureaucracy, but it's bulletproof.
Royal births, like those of Prince William and Princess Catherine's children, followed a very clear pattern.
Except Archie's birth was different. The palace issued a statement, then corrected it, then clarified it again.
Was they did not announce it when Meghan went into labor. They kept Archie's birth private for over 8 hours.
For an institution built on precision, that's unusual. But what really stood out was what wasn't included. No confirmed hospital, no named medical team, no official witnesses. For any royal child in the line of succession, that's unheard of.
Meghan and Harry opted for a private birth believed to be at Portland Hospital in London, and they delayed the photo debut by 2 days.
Don't forget that the first statement they put out was the wrong one. And then they had to correct it because, of course, Harry and Meghan.
The palace appeared to simply repeat information Meghan and Harry provided. They didn't verify independently. They didn't follow standard protocol. At the time, people explained it away. Privacy over protocol. Modern choices for a modern couple. And most accepted that. But here's the thing. Privacy doesn't erase verification. You can keep details private and still have official confirmation. You can protect medical privacy and still have doctors sign records. Yet, for Archie, that verification never came.
To this day, we don't know where the child was born, where Archie was born, who the doctors were, which is absolutely insane.
To this day, no hospital has confirmed his birth. No doctors have publicly attached their names. That silence has never been explained. It just remained. Most assumed clarity would come eventually, that answers would surface with time. But years passed, and nothing changed.
So Meghan and Harry kind of set Buckingham Palace up to look like they were participating in this manipulation.
The silence didn't lift, the verification never materialized. That's not modern, that's not privacy, that's an anomaly. And anomalies make institutions nervous.
So Meghan and Harry didn't tell Buckingham Palace right away. So then Buckingham Palace came out 40 minutes later to say, no, he was born already several hours ago.
But it gets more complicated. You might be thinking, who cares? Harry and Meghan left the royal family. Fair point, but here's why it matters. Archie and Lilibet are still 6th and 7th in line to the British throne. Those positions might seem distant, but history shows us that unexpected things happen. Kings and queens have ascended from further back. Circumstances change. The line of succession isn't symbolic, it's constitutional law, and constitutional law requires certainty, not assumptions. For centuries, witnesses attended royal births to prevent one thing: uncertainty. Because once doubt enters the succession line, it spreads. It creates constitutional crises that can destabilize the entire monarchy. That's why medical confirmation matters, why hospital records matter.
She claimed that they didn't want to do a photo op right after birth. They didn't offer this to Meghan or bring this up to me.
And here's the uncomfortable truth worrying palace officials. Archie and Lilibet are the only children in modern royal history whose births were never publicly verified the traditional way. The only ones. The palace knows this, which is why their wording has always been careful. They don't confirm details, they repeat what they're told. When the palace says, "The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are pleased to announce," they're confirming Harry and Meghan made an announcement, not that they verified the birth themselves. That wording creates legal distance. Protection. It's calculated, deliberate. For years, this strategy worked. The public moved on, media attention shifted, but internally, unresolved questions don't disappear. They sit in files, they wait. And when leadership changes, when King Charles takes the throne, those files get reopened. Not emotionally, administratively. But once you reopen one question, others follow. Now we're entering uncomfortable territory.
That her brother came out and said that she had a hysterectomy when she was in her early 20s, which makes it impossible for Meghan Markle to ever be pregnant.
Over the years, reports surfaced alleging Meghan had a hysterectomy in her early 20s. These claims appeared from different sources at different times. They've never been officially confirmed, but they've also never been publicly denied. Not by Meghan, not by Harry, not by their team. Just silence. Medically, such a procedure would make natural pregnancy impossible. That's not speculation, that's clinical reality. So if true, these claims would raise obvious questions about both births. But claims alone aren't evidence. Rumors aren't facts. On their own, these allegations might not carry weight, but they don't exist in isolation. They exist alongside missing hospital verification, alongside unusual official wording, alongside the absence of named medical professionals. When medical allegations exist in the same space as verification gaps, they don't prove anything, but they create pressure. Because the issue isn't whether people believe the claims, it's whether unanswered medical questions should exist at all for children in the succession line. The palace's response? Nothing. They never addressed the claims, never clarified, never explicitly denied them. They let the conversation fade. But fading isn't resolving. It means the question still sits there, just quieter, still unanswered, just less urgent, until something changes. But medical questions weren't the only complication. Let's talk about official documents, specifically Lilibet's birth certificate. In the United States, birth certificates follow a strict federal numbering system. It's standardized, non-negotiable. The first digits indicate the state where the birth occurred, not where parents live, not where announcements are made, the actual physical location of birth. And here's where it gets interesting. The area code on Lilibet's birth certificate, 105, corresponds to Colorado, not California. Lilibet has always been publicly described as being born at Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital in California. Every announcement, every statement places her birth there, but her birth certificate says Colorado.
So according to Meghan Markle, this child was born in the state of Colorado because the birth area code is 105.
This discrepancy has circulated online. It's been discussed, debated, analyzed, but here's what hasn't happened: an official explanation. No correction, no clarification, no palace statement, just silence. Again. Now, you might think it's a clerical error, systems make mistakes, but these state codes aren't manually assigned. They're automatically generated based on where the birth is registered. For the code to be wrong, the entire registration would have had to occur in the wrong state. That's not a typo, that's a fundamental discrepancy about location. One anomaly alone might be dismissed, but combined with missing medical verification, careful legal wording, and absent documentation, it becomes harder to ignore, because boring administrative systems usually tell the truth. They're not designed to deceive. And right now, the facts in official documents don't match the public narrative. But there's more. Words matter, especially legal words from palace officials. Every phrase is deliberate, and what's left out often matters more than what's included.
That they welcomed a daughter It doesn't say that Meghan Markle was safely delivered.
Now, here's something interesting. In the statement that Buckingham Palace put out for Archie, it says that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, was safely delivered and that Harry was present at the birth. That specific phrase, safely delivered, is traditional royal language, medical language. It confirms a physical birth occurred. But look at Lilibet's birth announcement wording. It said, Harry and Meghan welcomed a daughter. It said, both mother and child are healthy. Compare that to traditional royal announcements. Historically, the phrase used is that the mother was safely delivered of a child. That wording, safely delivered, has a legal and medical significance. It establishes that a medical birth occurred. But Lilibet's announcement avoided that phrase entirely. They welcomed a daughter. That's emotional language. It expresses sentiment, but confirms nothing about how the child came into their care.
Why could Meghan Markle put in her statement that the Duchess of Sussex was safely delivered of a daughter whose name is Lilibet?
This is plausible deniability. You're saying nothing false, but you're committing to nothing verifiable. It creates distance without denial. And there's another detail. The doctor reportedly involved in Lilibet's delivery closed her practice 2 weeks after the birth, completely shut down. No forwarding information. Doctors retire, practices close. That happens. But the timing removes verification pathways.
Seems that the surrogate for Lily has been located in Colorado, and we're gonna get...
If questions arise, if the investigators need confirmation, if authorities want to speak with the physician, she's unavailable. Coincidence? Maybe. But when legal wording avoids clarity, when birth certificates show discrepancies, when verification disappears at every turn, patterns form. And patterns attract institutional attention.
They could have done things their own way, and they could have prioritized privacy in a way that they felt comfortable with, and changed how they approached the birth of their children without purposefully lying and withholding information on purpose.
But why is this resurfacing now? Timing matters. Institutions like the British monarchy don't revisit sensitive issues without reason. Something has changed. King Charles has taken the throne. The monarchy faces unprecedented scrutiny. The institution needs credibility. It needs certainty. And unresolved succession questions work against both. What's happening now isn't tabloid noise. It's an internal review. New leadership means new priorities, and credibility matters more than avoiding uncomfortable conversations. The palace has to ask, if these questions became a full public controversy, how would we respond? With what evidence? What documentation? If the answer is, we don't have that, the time to get it is now. Quietly, before crisis hits.
Meghan Markle turned down the Queen's royal doctors to bring in her own set of doctors, so we don't even know where these children came from.
Internal reviews don't accuse, they assess risk. Files get compared, wording gets re-examined, inconsistencies get flagged. This isn't about proving wrongdoing, it's about institutional protection. Because if doubt becomes public consensus, if we're not sure about those births becomes mainstream, it's too late to fix. That's why the stay's silent, why no statements are issued. Silence isn't dismissal, it's caution. And caution only appears when something truly matters.
She never had any water weight. She always wore her wedding rings to the final day. Like, there's a lot of red flags that popped.
Here's what we know for certain. Archie and Lilibet's births were never verified the way every other modern royal birth has been verified. Medical questions were raised and never answered. Birth certificate discrepancies exist in official documents. And now the palace is quietly reviewing all of it. Time doesn't erase documents. It doesn't rewrite records. For years, people were told to stop asking, to move on, to accept the narrative. But narratives aren't the same as verification. And now, the questions are being asked again, not by tabloids, but by the institution itself. Calmly, quietly, seriously. Because the monarchy doesn't run on belief. It runs on certainty, on documentation, on proof. And right now, that certainty doesn't exist. Maybe these questions will all have simple answers. Maybe verification will suddenly appear after years of silence. Or maybe the palace will have to make very difficult decisions about what happens when modern privacy collides with constitutional requirements. We don't know yet. But here's what we do know for certain. Once an institution like the British monarchy starts asking questions this serious, they don't stop until they get answers. Real answers. Documented answers. Provable answers. Because proof has a way of demanding attention, no matter how long it's been ignored. So here's our question. Do you think the palace will find what they're looking for, or is this about to get much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Hit that like button, share this with anyone following the Sussex story, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because trust us, this is far from over. We'll see you in the next one.